Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to the WWE Clash at the Castle Post-Show Press Conference. My name is Byron Saxton, and we are here just minutes after WWE Clash at the Castle. We are going to get straight to it with our first guest. Please welcome the superstar, who has successfully retained both of his WWE Undisputed and World Championships, the workhorse, James Crimson.
Let's freaking go. Thanks for having me.
James, are you ready to get some questions answered?
Let's get right to it.
All right, first question comes from Midnight on X. Is there a chance that you might have Miz challenge you for one of your championships?
You know, I would love to face The Miz for one of my titles. I'm surprised he hasn't challenged me yet, especially as the general manager of SmackDown. We have a long history, so a match between me and him would definitely be something I'd be interested in.
I'm sure he'll do something about that. Anyways, next question comes from Ethan Escobar on YouTube. What is your next step as Undisputed Universal Champion?
I'm ready for anything. Well, anything besides the two goofs I just fought. My story with them is over. If Roman Reigns in The Lock wants these, they can try me. Everyone knows I've beaten Roman clean. The Lock, on the other hand, is someone I'm barely familiar with, and if he wants something from me, then I will show him exactly what he's going to get.
All right. James, you got 2 questions. Etta Victor from Ring Rumble Radio. First question, you become known for your incredible resilience and signature moves in the WWE. Can you share what drives your passion for wrestling and how you prepare mentally and physically for your matches?
First of all, great question. Second, I'm going to sound like a certain superhero here. The thing that drives my passion for pro wrestling is fear. That's what also helps me prepare physically and mentally for my matches. Sure, people would say that if you think too much about it, it would eventually get to you, but with me, I take that kind of fear as an opportunity. The fear of you having the possibility to lose everything you've made so much time for is what keeps me rolling. It's like running away from lava. You don't want to lose yourself if it hits you.
His second and your last question. James, you've faced and defeated some of the toughest opponents in the WWE. Can you tell us about a match that significantly impacted your career and what you learned from that experience?
Well, if it's any match that I could look back on, it was that match with me and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania this year. I could say that SummerSlam Tournament Finals has made a massive impact on my career since it's what started this long ride, but I know for sure I've learned a lot about myself more than most superstars at WrestleMania. It was the most important match of my career. I proved to myself that I'm nowhere close to being a fluke, a mistake, nor a transitional champion by all means. If I told a 5-year-old me that I'd be one of the greatest WWE champions of all time, I'd laugh my own ass off. And let's be honest, everyone else would have done the same. I've turned what should have been impossible to the possible and countered the doubts as their WWE Undisputed World Champion.
All right, that will be all from our WWE Undisputed World Champion, James Crimson. Thanks for coming and congratulations on your victory.
Thanks for having me. Have a great night, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we hear from our WWE Women's World Champion, the Captain Gage Felicity.
Thanks for having me, Byron.
It's our pleasure. Ready to answer some questions. I'm sure you might have some interesting ones to address.
Right. Let's get to it.
First question comes from Luke Savory from Attitude Rumble Podcast. I know this might feel awkward, but what do you think about the bra and panties match? Yes, that is a real question.
You made a point on one thing. That is an awkward topic to talk about nowadays. I'll keep my answer short and simple. The best thing about that match is that it's not around anymore. Thankfully, this company has matured itself before my generation came here. I might get in trouble for admitting that, but if they want an answer, they're getting it.
Well said. The next 2 questions comes from Etta Victor from Ring Rumble Radio. First question, you've had some incredible matches and memorable moments in the WWE. What has been the most challenging aspect of your wrestling career, and how do you overcome obstacles inside and outside the ring?
Now that's a better question. My most challenging aspect of my wrestling career, from my experience so far, is mainly my mindset. When I'm in the ring, I'm always thinking about a lot of things other than defeating my opponents. I can't speak for all pro wrestlers, but as someone who's been in the ring for quite some time, we're always thinking strategy. We're always trying to avoid any distractions or whatever drama that happens outside the ring while we're in it. Once we're in the ring, the one thing that should be in our heads is to figure a way to win. I'm not saying I always overcome those obstacles inside and or outside the ring, but I do try to address them one way or another when I think I have the chance. In some cases, I succeed, and in some cases, not necessarily yet. I keep going and learn more about my problems than never being able to solve it.
All right, his second question. Your agility and dynamic in-ring performances have captivated WWE fans worldwide. Can you describe a pivotal moment in your career that defined your path as a wrestler and how it influenced your approach to future matches?
There has been a lot of things in my career that has defined my path, like the heelish brutal persona, that fabulous Hollywood persona, and even that weird supernatural persona. But if it's any moment that really shaped my career, it's got to be my little speeches that I've been doing since I made my Raw debut, using Byron's headset. I'm still not sorry, Byron. But nonetheless, like what I said earlier, I address what I think should be addressed, not trying to sound like a boss or anything, but I do co-own my own wrestling promotion. I know the frustrations that can go through someone when they're given or told something they don't want to do. My debut speech was more of a plug-in for TBD, but when WWE management exaggerated my captain nickname and took it as a literal persona while I was not on board with it, no pun intended, I demanded Regal to make a change because the rest of the backstage crew wouldn't acknowledge the lack of collaboration between them and myself. That moment was when I strapped the jetpack and flew from one thing to another. I didn't need a title at the time, I just wanted to have fun, and that's what influences me. No matter what I go through in pro wrestling, the one thing you should remember is to have fun. If I were to be stuck in that moment again, I would do the whole damn thing exactly how I did it previously. That's also a great question.
All right, before you go, we have one more question.
Geneva Rose from TBDs to be discussed.
Wait, Geneva, what are you doing here? And since when did TBD have their own interviewers?
I'm asking you the questions, Cap, and we're just doing this for fun. You like it?
I don't mind it. Was that your question?
No, my actual question. And I guess it's also everyone else's question. Would you care to share any comments about the return of Charlotte Flair and Brianna LJ Fenwick's following Clash at the Castle?
Welcome back, Charlotte. Once I defeat Bianca on Raw, I will see you at Money in the Bank.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, that's all I got right now. Good question anyways, Geneva.
Okay then, I guess that wraps it up. Congratulations to you and your team at Clash at the Castle, and have a wonderful evening.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, our final guests tonight. The woman that successfully defeated Naomi to retain her WWE Women's Championship, Rina Heatherson, and her husband, Traymore Staggs.
We're glad to be here.
That's great to hear. You guys got some interesting questions to be answered. Are you both ready?
Yeah.
Great, we might as well get this one out of the way. Rina, this first question for you comes from Luke Savory from Attitude Rumble podcast. I know this might feel awkward, but what do you think about the bra and panties match? Yes, that is a real question that was asked by a real person. Gage Felicity was asked the same question, by the way.
That's her first question? Wow.
What was Gage's answer?
Gage Felicity has said, in quote, "You made a point on one thing. That is an awkward topic to talk about nowadays. I'll keep my answer short and simple. The best thing about that match is that it's not around anymore. Thankfully, this company has matured itself before my generation came here. I might get in trouble for admitting that, but if they want an answer, they're getting it." End quote.
Okay, that's also my answer. Sorry, Gage. I'm not willing to elaborate the stupidity of some of you out there. That point is one thing we can agree on.
Thank goodness. Next question, for Traymore, comes from Etta Victor from Ring Rumble Radio. Traymore, I know you and Rina have been a package deal since high school, but Traymore, No offense to Rina, but she can get angry fast, so how do you handle from Rina?
Great question.
Trey,
Tell her that the sun is getting real low.
Trey,
Buy her some ice cream.
Denver.
Babe, the sun's getting real low. You want to get some ice cream?
It's been low for hours and sure, we can get some ice cream.
I'm sure that answered your question.
I'm sure it has. Next question, for Rina, comes from Midnight on X. Whatever happened to Brooklyn Von Braun since we last saw her?
How should I know? She's probably just sitting at home, eating and watching what we're doing since we're all she thinks about. And if she's actually watching this for whatever reason, high school was over a decade ago. We can move on now.
Alright, next question for Traymore also comes from Midnight on X. Do you and Red still keep in contact with Riley Flash?
Yeah.
Well, not really in person, but he always contacts us through social media. Riley enjoys seeing us grow as professional wrestlers. He treats us like we're his only students ever.
That's true.
Next question is for Rina from Dark Seraph on YouTube. What dream match would you like to have?
Currently, in terms of who's currently on the roster, Gage Felicity. I've squashed so many weak superstars lately that I would love to get a real challenge from the captain herself. In terms of any superstar of any time period, probably Mickie James.
I would love to see those matches. Anyways, next question, for the both of you, comes from Jalen Turner on YouTube. How long have you two been married and why?
And why?
We got married about a month before we were told that we can come back to WWE. Like we got our messages from Triple H in the middle of our honeymoon. So, we've been married for about 3 or 4 months now.
And the reason why I proposed to her in the first place is because I know that this is the only person I can trust. I can trust her with my life inside and outside of the ring. We don't say that we're a package deal as some catchphrase. Our attachment, our history, our journey, and our trust is what kept us going. So one day, I wondered, what if we held our bond for the rest of our lives? Luckily, it went well. There's no other person I would trust besides her.
Trey, you can make me happy and mad all you want, but please don't make me cry in front of everyone. Shit, it's starting to feel like that day all over again.
Aw, that's sweet. Anyways, we finally made it to the last question. The last question is from Dark Collier from France Wrestling News. For both Rina and Traymore, your career and your track record are so enormous that it deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. The question is, will you be in the Hall of Fame before WrestleMania 20XX?
Will we? I mean, we'd love that, but it feels a little too soon for us. Most of the goofy stuff that he did were mostly done in the indies. We could, however, try to accomplish more things here to get to the WWE Hall of Fame one day.
That's true. There's still a lot of work to do.
Alright, that concludes our WWE Clash at the Castle Post-Show Press Conference. Rina, congratulations on getting your win once again. Traymore, you did great.
Gee, thanks, Byron.